Okay. Okay, on EKG analysis. So, where do we start first? First, let's start on the basic form of the EKG, the strip, okay? So let's take, first we have to know what are the components of our EKG strip components. So we have three things in this, yes? One is, we have what? Waveforms, the wave. Okay, the second one is the segments. The third one is what? The intervals. So these are the three things that we have. Yes, we have waves, we have segments and intervals. So what are the waves? So the waves are those that go up and down. So we have upward deflection, and we have downward deflection. Okay, these are the two most important. Yes. So if you see, for example, this one, this is what? Upward or up or down? Up. Yes. This one is what? Down. This one is up. This one down. This is up. Okay. So we say it like this. What? This one is P wave. This one is what? Q. This one is R. This one is S. This one is Q. Okay. So this one P, Q, R, S, T. These are called waves. Okay. So waves are basically that go up and
down.
So we call them upward deflection and downward deflection.
Downward deflection.
Okay. Then we have what we call segments. So segments are those lines in between of the waves. Okay. So basically in this case you can see we have one segment here, this one, and we have another segment here, this one. Okay. So this one is called a PR segment. Okay, and this one is ST segment. So you can see ST, P, R. So we have two kinds of segments. What are they? PR and ST segments. Okay, so basically these are the lines that are in between of the waves. Okay, then we have intervals. Intervals means now we have waves and segments, yes? So when the waves, intervals is equal to wave plus segment. Okay, that means when both of them come together, they are called what? Intervals. So let's say you have a P wave here. Yes? And you have PR segment here. So that means the P wave and ST segment from here to here is what we call what? The PR what? Interval. Okay? Okay, what is the wave in this case? P wave. The segment in this case is the PR segment. So we have PR interval. So we have one, we have PR interval. So usually we call it PRI. The second one is what we call QRS. QRS. Okay, it's also called, it's an interval, but it has a special name usually. It's called as QRS complex. So like a different QRS, like it's put like QRS, it's like a complex. Why complex? Because there are three waves coming together, Q, R, and S, so they are called together like QRS. Then we have another interval which is called ST. That means ST segment is this one. Then we have T wave. Yes? Then, so from here to here is what we call ST interval. ST interval. Okay? So ST interval is the other ST interval. So why we need to know all of this? Because all of them, they have their own significance. They are very important to say something. Let's say if there is a problem on the ST segment or on the T wave, so they tell us usually on the myocardium, the muscle of the heart. Okay, something is wrong with that. Okay. The other one is what we call QT interval. So QT means, can you see here? So this is the longest interval we have here. From beginning of Q, can you see? To the end of what? T. Can you see? So this is QT interval. That means you start from the beginning of Q. So it has lots of waves, can you see? It has Q, R, S, and it has ST what? Segment, and it has what?
T.
T wave. So you see all these together, they are what? It's what? A QT interval. Usually that is the longest interval we have.
You what? You
QT. Okay, QT interval. Okay, now before we go to our, let's associate this with our heart. Okay, let's say this is our heart. Okay, what we need here will be what we call the electrical activities of the heart. It means there are 5 what? Electrical impulses of what? Yeah, that means there are some 5 electrical tissues that produce what? An electrical impulse, and that transmit what? That electrical impulse. So it starts with what? Who knows the first one? Is SNO. 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 Yes. So SNO is found where? In the right atrium. Yes, it's found where? In the right atrium. Okay, actually you will get it in the book also, okay? You can find on the EKG this diagram also, okay? Now, SNO is called the pacemaker. SNO is called the pacemaker. Okay, what do you mean by pacemaker? It means it is the one that like initiates the impulse, and it's the one that controls like the heart electrical activity. So it's called the pacemaker. Okay? Then this impulse, it generates the impulse, okay? It generates or it produces the impulse. It generates the impulse. Okay? Now, once this impulse is generated where? In the SNR, it has 2 options. One, it goes to both the whole right and left atrium. It will go to these 2. And it will pass also to another electrical tissue which is called AV node. AV node. You know, any tissue in the heart has the ability to produce what? An electrical impulse. Being it like high or low, okay, in different form. But, for example, the SA node produces, okay, and AV node also can produce what? An electrical impulse. Atria can produce, ventricles, they can also produce generate an electrical impulse in different ways. Okay? Now, you see, impulse from the AV node will pass through there are 3 bundles with 3 tissues. And you see 1, 2, 3. These are called internodal fibers. These are called internodal fibers. These are the main thing that we need. But these are internodal fibers, 3 internodal fibers. These are called Okay, what do you mean by internodal fibers? From one node to another node. You see? This is a node, this is a node. So you see, inter means in between. Okay, intercontinental. Yes? Internodal, it is the node. So it goes from this. So it has 3 fibers that take this to this node. Then from this node, it will pass to the ventricles. Okay? But before that, there is also another nerve which is called the Bachmann's bundle. So this Bachmann's bundle, this one, it will take to the left atrium. You see, it will take an impulse to the left atrium. This is called Bachmann's bundle. Bachmann's bundle. Okay? Now what will be the job of the next thing? Okay? So now it transmits the impulse to the left atrium. Now the left atrium gets what? The impulse. Everything of the right atrium gets the impulse. Now who's left? Ventricles.
Ventricles.
Yes? They need to get that impulse. How do they get? By passing through this. Yes? So it will go to the AV node, then from the AV node to the what we call bundle of His. So this one, the third one, is what we call bundle of His. This one. But there is some tricky thing here. The impulse will not like directly pass to the ventricles. So in the AV node, there will be some kind of what we call a delay. There is called what we call delay. It means the impulse will be delayed here for like fraction of seconds. Okay, it will be delayed here, and then it will pass to the bundle of His. Then from the bundle of His, it passes to the right and left bundle branch. Okay, so these are what we call right, so abbreviation will be right bundle branch and left bundle branch. So this one is the right bundle branch, this one is the left bundle branch. Okay, it means now, you see the ventricles are getting what? The impulse, yes? Now from here, especially the left one, it has two fascicles. There is something that's going at the front and something that goes at the back. Okay, so these are called anterior and posterior fascicles. Okay, the one that goes anterior and the one that goes on the posterior. So this one is posterior fascicle. And this one is anterior fascicle. Okay, then what happens is that from this right and left bundle branch are coming small fibers which are called Purkinje fibers. Okay, Purkinje fibers. Purkinje what? Fibers. So these are, can you see, the small fibers, these ones. So these small fibers, they will give the impulse to the whole of what? The ventricles. So the ventricles will receive the impulse. And now, what's going to happen? There are two things now. You see, there is what we call coupling. Coupling. You know coupling?
Together.
Yeah, two things.
Together.
Always, two things happen together. What are they? One is electrical. This is the electrical mechanism. So, and the other is what we call the mechanical. You see, one cannot be without the other one. Always, they are like the chicken and the egg, or the hen and the egg, okay? Okay? You don't know it's coming first, but I know that. Okay? Okay, okay? So, both of them should exist always at the same time. One cannot be without. So, the electrical means how the electrical impulse is produced and generated and transmitted. And the mechanical is, then once the heart gets what? The impulse, what does it do? It will contract. Yes? So, the mechanical is what? Contraction, and what is the opposite of contraction? Relaxation. That's the mechanical. Okay?
For coupling? Is that
Yeah, so coupling is two things, electrical and mechanical. Okay? Then mechanical means Contraction and
Relaxation.
relaxation. Electrical means two things now, depolarization and repolarization. Okay? Okay? Now we mark them, okay? We'll mark them. Okay? Now when the impulse generates from the SCSA node, first it does what? When it passes, it's what? Depolarization. Now this depolarization will create what? Contraction. Okay? It means depolarization is what? Electrical term. Contraction is what? Mechanical term. Okay? We said what? Both of them, they always exist together. Yes? So when there's depolarization, what does it mean? The muscles, they get that impulse and then they contract. Yes? Then once the contraction finished, the muscles, what should they do?
Relax.
They need to relax. Okay? So the nerves, they should go to this is what? Is resting stage, which is called repolarization. That means it will be bad. Huh?
Is it when you breathe out?
No, we are talking on the heart.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you.
No, we are talking on the nerves. On the nerves, okay?
Yeah, I know because it's contraction and relax.
Yeah. Yeah, basically all muscles, they have this action. Let's say if you take the breathing muscles, they contract and relax. So when they contract, what does it mean? They get the impulse, electrical impulse. But we are talking on the heart, this one, okay? And when they relax, what does it mean? Now the electrical impulse is over and they are at resting phase. Okay? So once we know this one, then when we come to this, how do we relate now? I got my EKG tracing. Now how do I relate this one with these activities? Okay, now that's the question. Okay? Now, so knowing this will help me how to understand and how to interpret and analyze this stuff. Okay, that's why I come from here before I go to all the details of the analysis. Okay? So when we say P wave, this one is what? So this shows me an atrial depolarization. Okay, let me say atrial depolarization. Okay? What does it mean? It means I will get this P wave when the atria basically depolarizes and what? Contracts. This contraction, yeah? Depolarization is the electrical term. Contraction is what? The mechanical term. Yes? So atria, that means I will get this P wave when the atria what? Contracts. It means what? When it depolarizes. Okay? So it means P wave always shows me any condition about what? About the atria. And so how do the atria depolarize or contract? How do they get the impulse? They get it from the SA node. Remember how we discussed? Yeah? SA node will send impulse to the left atria and these three internal fibers, so the right and left atria, they will get the impulse. So P wave will always show me two things. One, atria and SA node. You see? So these are the two things. When I see P node, P wave, I don't think of ventricles. Huh? Yes. Okay? That's how P wave is born. P wave is born of what? SA node and atria. Okay? That means it comes from actions done by SA node and when the atria contracts, I get P wave. When SA node is normal and sending impulse to the atria, I get what? The P wave.
So P wave you get atrial?
Huh?
Atrial?
Yes. So atrial is atrial depolarization. It means when the atria gets the impulse, when it depolarizes, then I get P wave.
And you also get SA node? No.
Yeah. It shows me, this P wave shows me atria and SA node. Now the next will be QRS. So QRS shows me ventricular depolarization. Ventricular depolarization. It means anything on this, anything on the ventricles is done by what? By QRS, okay? It doesn't deal with P wave, with atria. You got it? Okay? So ventricular depolarization is QRS. What does it mean? It means ventricles what? Contract, yes?
Contracts or legs.
Ventricular contraction. And how does the ventricles get the impulse? They get it from the Purkinje fibers. So it will tell me usually about what? About anything below this, which is the Purkinje fibers. Okay? So it will tell me anything about the Purkinje fibers. Okay? So now QRS is what? QRS, ventricular depolarization. It means ventricular contraction. So any problem I see on QRS, so what comes to my mind? Where is the problem? Where is the problem? On the
Ventricle.
ventricles. Okay, because it's always represents what? Ventricular depolarization. Got it? Then T wave will be now repolarization, because once it contracts, it should what?
Relax.
So once it depolarizes, it should what? Repolarize.
Repolarize. Again.
Yes. You see the opposite, it should go the opposite. Yes, once you get the money, you have to give it, yes? That's it, they get the impulse and now they have to release.
Depolarize, repolarize.
Yes, before once they get the impulse, depolarize, then now they have to
again.
repolarize. Once they contract, they can't contract the whole way, the whole life. Oh, contract. No. They have to relax. Yeah? So, T wave means ventricular relaxation. Okay, so that's why this is called ventricular repolarization. Okay? So ventricular repolarization means what? Ventricular relaxation. That means the ventricle is under. So now, look, I got this. P wave is what?
Atrial depolarization.
Which is atrial contraction, yes? It's the same as what? Contraction. QRS is what? Ventricular
Ventricular depolarization.
Contraction.
Contraction.
T wave is what? Ventricular depolarization, ventricular relaxation. Now, where is the atrial relaxation? Do you get that? Because there should be atrial what? Relaxation. Where is that? Where is my friend? It's contracted and I don't know where it goes. Huh? Who may think of this? Huh?
Is it not the whole thing? Relaxing?
Okay, the thing is, you see, because there is QRS here, you know, this tall guy, he covers that web. So that web doesn't appear here. Okay? But the atrial repolarization already happened here. So it's also because together with QRS. You know, when QRS contrasts, atria already what? Relaxes.
Relax.
Because okay? It relaxes. So it relaxes here. So you can't see it. Okay? That's why you don't see it. It's hidden behind QRS. But it's already, atria already repolarizes. But what we have to know here at the front is this one, atrial depolarization, okay? Ventricular depolarization and ventricular repolarization.
Does it?